Brian Palavai Run Far here with Stephanie Howe after her win at the 2015 Lake Sonoma 50 mile. Congratulations, Stephanie.
Thank you.
You were third 2 years ago, second last year, and now you win.
About time.
Was that kind of your plan going in? I mean,
it was definitely the hope. It's a tough course, a tough race. So, I didn't think it was going to come easy, but I definitely wanted to win that double magnum from Wilson Winery. So,
it's some good wine.
It is some great wine.
And today we're at what, Puzzy King Vineyard?
Yeah, this
is some good wine. But you're celebrating a good win. That really speaks very well of your fitness right now. I mean, it was another course record for this this course, and a fantastic time. Because Emily had a spectacular race last year. And did you think you could run as fast as you did? No,
I was hoping to repeat last year. I felt I had a good race. I thought 7:30 was attainable for me. I was 7:33 last year. It honestly didn't cross my mind until probably about 30 miles in. And really until like the last 10, I was like, wow, if I can just run 10-minute miles, I'm going to have a course record. Like, that would be really cool. So it surprised me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we can convince Tropical John to make like a course record bonus, maybe a second
double
magnum. John?
2 double magnums. Or I asked him if I could have the puppy. He found a puppy out in the course trail marking, and it's the cutest little like pointer mix, and I kind of want to keep her.
Zephyr could totally fit in a duffel bag.
Well, yeah, I know.
Are you driving?
Well, I'm driving, so I have room.
Yeah, sorry, John.
Just saying.
John, Lisa, you're screwed. So, how are you feeling the day after? Are you feeling pretty strong?
I feel pretty good. My legs are destroyed. Like, I put myself under yesterday.
Yeah?
I feel worse than I did after state.
Really?
Yeah. I just haven't had the same training going into it. I didn't spend a lot of time seasoning my quads. So
okay.
They were pretty shot at mile 30, but I knew I could finish. I've run 20 miles on shot quads, so I'm just paying for it today.
Totally.
It's worth it.
But it looked like during the race that you, at least, maybe you were hurting yourself physically, but like you had maybe an easy mental time.
Yeah.
You just like you were smiling and literally laughing, like going uphill at mile 30. And
I felt good. Like the energy was never low the entire race. And it's like trash quads, but I was fine other than that. So I was feeling good. I was having fun. There's so many people out there, and it was cool to, have the out and back where people are like cheering for you. And I don't know. I was having a good time.
You definitely were. It was a really nice day weather-wise for most of the race. It got a little warm in the afternoon.
A little warm, yeah.
Did your stomach ever go at all? Or?
I train and practice taking fuel, so I'm pretty good during the race. And I just took 3 gels an hour, just constant fuel. Cliff Shot gels, just mixing up the flavor so I didn't get sick of them.
You do have to do that.
You do have to do that, and that's all I did, and it was
really?
Great. Yeah.
It's interesting because these days there's sort of a branch of ultra runners that definitely train. They race with gels or nutrition products, but they definitely train very low or not at all.
Yeah.
So with your background in nutrition and all that, what's your take on that?
The science behind that, it's not very good, that training without carbohydrate. The thought is it produces more stress on the body, so you adapt. And that, while that may be true, you aren't as used to processing carbohydrates. You have less ability. You downregulate receptors. If you don't need them, your body's not going to use the extra energy to keep them. So when you get into a race situation and you're trying to take in carbohydrate, you just can't use it as well. And I know people believe different things, but that's kind of what I've stuck to with my background, and it's worked well. So well, then sort of to split that a little finer. So you work on these receptors in terms of dealing with carbohydrate, digestion. There's some ultra runners who not only don't do the carb thing in training, they don't do it at all. Right.
But what about the people who mix, who say don't do it during running, but then they do it during everyday life, such that would that hinder the receptors and all that?
I think a little bit. I think it's okay to stress your body out a little bit. Like when I go out on long training runs, I don't always fuel properly, on purpose. Like maybe I'll take 1 gel an hour, and maybe I'll wait till I'm like 90 minutes or 2 hours in. And so I'm behind at that point. And it's good to practice bonking. But I think if you deprive yourself of it in training, even though you eat properly in your day-to-day life, you still are not optimizing your nutrition.
Gotcha. So you kind of, just as in training the various physical elements of your legs and your cardiovascular system, you sort of vary your approach to nutrition during training.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's not black and white. There's a lot of gray area. And it's like, I try to, for the most part, like 80% do well. And then, there's 20% of the time where it's just like, well, that was probably stupid. But, it's good for your body to practice those times, but just not have them be the majority of the training.
So you said in our pre-race interview that you were looking to improve upon last year. You did that by quite a bit. How many minutes were you faster this year?
Oh, gosh. I was 7:08 this year, so what was that, like 22 minutes?
That's quite a lot.
Yeah, or 18 minutes? Yeah, it was a lot. It was about 45 seconds per mile.
What does that have you thinking about that Western States?
I feel good about my fitness right now, but I also feel like I'm fit. I need to come down before I go back up because Western States is, it's like 10 weeks away. So I actually plan to take a couple weeks to just kind of recover, relax, reset, lose some fitness so that I can build back up.
So what does that look like for you? Like what will you do?
Well,
no, this week you're, it's recovery. But like say that's next week. What are you doing in that planned down phase?
A lot of cross training, a lot of yoga, walking my dog, spending time with friends, just not like training, like following a plan, getting out for runs, but just kind of what feels right. Like maybe just 30, 40 minutes, just kind of play it by ear. And when I get back into training, I won't just like hit it hard. I will add in some cross training. I usually try to cross train once a week, leading even up to a race, just to keep my body from falling apart.
And any races between now and States?
Not planned. I mean, I might actually take that back. I'm doing the Boston 5K.
Oh, that's right.
About that. Big race for me. But I might do like a half marathon, just a local race if it fits into the training block. But I don't like to race that often, so
those aren't really for what you're focusing on now. Those aren't really races. That's,
exactly.
It's training
They're just
runs.
More like get a hard effort in. So.
As opposed to say going to an ultra,
right?
Where you may be more tempted to
throw myself under. And I really just, it's so tempting. I've had these races that I want to do and they're, they fit in, but they don't fit in. Like I could get myself there, but I'm like, that's just not smart. So I'm holding myself back and it'll be good for me.
Yeah. Well, you had a great run here.
Thanks. Yeah, I was not expecting that. That was crazy.
Congratulations,
Thank
Stephanie.
You. Cheers.
Cheers. So, bonus question for you. You've got to try a bunch of good wines this last couple days.
Oh my gosh.
Have you had a favorite?
We just tried the Reserve Cab here, and that was pretty good. I think Zach and I are going to buy a case.
The nice Penzi King.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I know, they convinced us. But we're going to continue on our wine tour this afternoon. We brought our bikes. We actually biked here, which was great except for that uphill.
That driveway is wicked.
It's like a mile. I didn't know that. But yeah, we're going to bike down and taste a few others. But we definitely love the cab here.
All right. Well, okay, you're on bikes. What are you going to do?
Oh, Zach has biked with like crazy things before, so.
Just going to like carry?
Yeah, I've got a bag. Maybe I'll stick it in there, put it in his bag. We'll see.
Awesome.
We'll be creative.
Well, enjoy.
Thank you.